Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope everybody is good. I want to share with you a story about the rich people are dumping their stocks. The children of the corn have been dumping stocks over the last quarter of last year, and we're in about the end of the first quarter of this year. So, if you've been paying attention to the economy, you see inflation is bad. You see people are getting evicted. You see people are being laid off, and so that's not a good sign for any market. Um, when you're gambling, basically, that's what I call a stock market. When you're gambling, and investing. So this is also a sign for us that things are getting ready to get bad, and the bottom is soon to drop out of the economy. So when you see these rich people starting to get out and then invest in other stuff, they could tell you um, where the future is going, or where their thought processes are. They've already had a discussion about where the future is, so they're putting their money there. So they always bet against the people. Basically, you can't win with you can't win. You can't beat the house because the house always cheating. So in any event, I just want to share with you that the rich people are dumping their stocks and cashing in and investing in other things. Not This is not for you to go invest in anything, because I'm not telling you to keep playing with Babylon. Like, if you're an Israelite, you already know we ain't supposed to be doing any of this stuff anyway. So I know people will say, "Oh, well, it's not a sin to get rich. It's not a sin to whatever." Like, just it's a system that was created by Babylon. It's like going to the casino, putting your money in a machine, pulling the slot, hoping for the best. You might win, you might lose. You didn't create the machine, so you don't know what the rules and the parameters are for the house. Um, they're always going to take in more than they pay out. So if you don't play, you can't lose. Um, I know, and it's hard for a lot of our people to process how we are supposed to live. But I mean, if you read the Old Testament, it don't say nothing about investing in no stock market, doing stuff like that. Like, we're supposed to work by the sweat of our brow and get it. And if you can get it honestly, like I just honestly don't feel as though the stock market is an honest system, because it wasn't set up by honest people. So if you think that, then you probably got to do some soul searching among yourselves. You got to rationalize um, wanting to play in Babylonian games. But that's just my 2 cents. That's how I look at it. I mean, I know other people will try to rationalize. People will rationalize anything that they want to do. So, again, if it counters in any way, shape, or form the words of the Most High, we shouldn't be dealing in it. And if you are an Israelite, you are a part of the elect, and you consider yourself an elect, then that's something that you are going to have to pray long and hard about, because um, how these people make their money is by cheating other people out money. So we can have a whole discussion about it from a business perspective. And if you just believe in getting the money, then no matter what I say, you're gonna always have a counter for it. But you got to think about Babylon, or Egypt, or whatever you want to call it, was built based on exploitation, and every system in this nation thrives on exploitation, whether it's the prison system or the consumption supply chain, laws of supply and demand, um, the dreams sold to us, like the American dream, work, pulling yourself up by the bootstraps, like everything is just a lie. Like, once you figure out everything that you've ever known about this world is a lie, and nothing is right or true or fair except for the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, then, you know, everything is a lie. That's all I can say. Everything is a lie. And you really have to come to that conclusion. So I don't want to keep belaboring the point, but I just want to make a point that the rich people know what's going on, which is another reason why we shouldn't be playing this game, because it's a game. It's always to part us with our few shekels, with hopes of a brighter day. So for this particular story, though, um, Warren Buffett sells 28.7 billion in stocks, and folks should be alarmed. Apparently. So it says Warren Buffett's firm Berkshire Hathaway sold 28.7 billion of stock in the first 3 quarters of 2023, in a move that some economists have interpreted as a ringing alarm bells for the American economy. According to the company's earnings, the Nebraska-based firm of the legendary investor and billionaire known as the Oracle of Omaha, just imagine, Oracle, my butt, sold a net 10.4 billion of stock in the first quarter of the year. In the second quarter of the year, it sold close to 13 billion of shares and brought less than 5 billion. In the third quarter, it sold about 5.3 billion worth of stocks. As Buffett is considered one of the greatest investors of all time, of course you can be one of the greatest investors of all time if you are a children of the corn, fallen angel, know all the things, help run the system, hidden hand. As well as one of America's richest men, his moves are closely observed and analyzed. For Stevie H. Hank, a professor of applied economics at Johns Hopkins University who served on President Ronald Reagan's Council of Economic Advisors, Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway's recent lightening up on the stocks and accumulation of a pile of cash, 157 billion, is consistent with the fact that stocks are relatively pricey right now. But it's also crucially a sign that a recession is right around the corner. So we're already in a recession. Let them tell it. We've been in a recession. They finally admitted it. So you can't be in another recession. It means the depression is coming. The money supply of the United States, broadly measured M2, started contracting in July 2022 and has been falling like a stone, Hank said. Since last year, the U.S. money supply has contracted by 3.3%. And that's what they're trying to say. The inflation is 3%. But inflation is higher than 3%. So this is according to Hank. There have been only 4 periods in U.S. history: 1920 through 21, 1929 through 33, 1937 through 38, and 1948 through 49, in which the money supply has had significant contractions. And if you go back through history, you'll know what was going on during those periods. Gotta study your history, not just our history, but world history, to understand what's usually going on when this happens. I'm not gonna say it because just go look. Each of those 4 episodes was followed by a serious recession, he said. The current monetary contraction is clearly going to lead to precisely what monetary contractions always lead to: a recession. With the expectation of a recession, Hank said, Buffett's recent moves are classic Buffett. He loves to fish in troubled waters, Hank said. And with the Fed putting the money supply in a nosedive, the likes that we haven't seen since 1933. Know what was going on during 1933? The Depression, the Great Depression. Buffett is correctly anticipating that troubled economic waters are in the offing. He will then profitably deploy his cash hoard. So when people fall upon hard times and lose their homes and all these things happen, and there's a huge supply with no buyers, the banks will hold on to these properties, sell them dirt cheap, whether it is uh, commercial real estate or real estate in suburbs, in residential homes, affordable housing communities, people losing apartment buildings and things because tenants can't pay. So they're going to buy up a whole bunch of property. This is how you're not going to own nothing and be happy. Everything going to be gone because people won't have any money to buy nothing. People won't have jobs to make, and they won't make anything. Like, it's just going to be a vicious cycle. But the rich people who've been setting the game up, rigging the game, they have money. They're gonna have money to go in and buy, and you're just gonna constantly be giving these same people your money over and over and over and over and over again. It's just like a vicious cycle. It never stops. So it says, don't forget that Buffett has made big bucks over the years by lending to and rescuing distressed financial institutions. That's another thing. So they're gonna be controlling all the money. And while Buffett waits for the coming economic dislocations and stresses, so they're waiting on your misfortune to um, swoop in like an eagle and take from you what you have worked hard for. So they set the conditions for you to prosper a little bit, all the while stealing from you. Then when they get tired, they set the stage so that you will falter or fail and lose all the things that you worked hard for. So then they swoop in and steal from you more. Then they create situations and systems where you have to consume from them more. So like you never, ever, ever, ever stop giving them your money. Like you're a constant ATM, a poor ATM for rich people. And you're basically a debt slave. That's what we all are. We're debt slaves, which is why so many people are tired of working and they are living off the grid and trying to figure out ways to not be in debt, because people are learning that that system doesn't work. But unfortunately, a lot of people are not going to learn until it's too late, and then you're going to have to go into the new system, which is where you're going to take that mark of the beast and be a slave, and bow down to do whatever they tell you to do. So this is what they're setting the stage for. So it says he is receiving a decent return on his cash hoard. So he's cashing in his stocks, and then when misfortune is out there for the world to see, he's going to swoop in and buy all these commercial real estate buildings that they're getting ready to turn into mixed affordable housing. They're going to buy these residential properties that people lose because they don't have jobs. They're going to rent them back to you. It's almost going to be like sharecropping all over again. So you get ready to go back into slavery whether you want it or not. Don't forget that. Oh, I'm sorry, I already did that. Other investors are more cautious in interpreting Berkshire Hathaway's selling of stock as a warning about the U.S. economy. David Wagner, portfolio manager at Aptus Capital Advisors, told Newsweek that Buffett is likely holding on to more cash because insurance costs have increased, and historically, Buffett has stated that his company likes to hold on to its cash balance, likes to hold cash on its balance sheet to cover potential insurance losses. The billionaire might also be keeping cash on hand for optionality if there is a market weakness, Wagner said. And right now, cash is earning a relatively healthy nominal return. Um, if the market were to take a fall, he'll be ready to buy when valuations are lower, much like he did in 2008. And so that's basically what I was saying. They prey on our misfortune, but also notice that he's keeping cash on hand. So if rich people are keeping cash on hand, buddy, you better be trying to keep you some. So I have one more story that I want to share along the lines from Business Insider. It came out on the 26th of February 2024. So it says Jeff Bezos, Jamie Dimon, and Mark Zuckerberg have sold stock worth about $9 billion. They might think markets can't go much higher. So again, the man who owns Amazon, like the biggest retailer uh, in the world, Jamie Dimon, who basically runs the bank, and then Mark Zuckerberg have been selling off shares. All right. Sorry about that. I had to pause because I thought somebody had wrecked in front of my house. So, um, Amazon's Jeff Bezos, J.P. Morgan's Jamie Dimon, and Meta's Mark Zuckerberg have all sold big chunks of shares in their own companies. How come? Bezos is way out in front after offloading 50 million shares of Amazon in just 9 trading days this month, pocketing an estimated 8.5 billion. Zuckerberg cashed out almost 1.8 million shares of his social media empire for more than 400 million in the last 2 months of 2023. And then Jamie Dimon joined the club this month, jettisoning about 822,000 shares of the bank he leads for about $150 million. The sales are striking for several reasons. Diamond's disposals represent his first sales of JP Morgan stock in his 18 years as CEO. So if he's been CEO for 18 years and he's getting rid of stock, I'd pay attention. Zuckerberg hadn't sold Meta shares for almost 2 years prior to his latest transactions. Bezos has gone from selling less than 3 billion of stock annually prior to 2019 to more than 3 billion in 4 days in early 2020 and now close to triple that figure in 9 days. So y'all know what was happening in 2020. That was when the cough was around. So he knew he was getting ready to make a grip of money from folks staying at home buying crap. So it says all the sales were conducted under trading plans announced months in advance, which executives rely on so they can sell shares without investors thinking it means they have the inside track on bad news ahead or that the stock has hit unsustainable highs. Yet it's clearly possible that Bezos, Zuckerberg, and Diamond decided to line up sales because their shares had ballooned in value and cashing out was making more and more sense. I don't believe that. I believe all these folks know that. Say these same people go over to Davos and have discussions about what we're supposed to do for the future. They attend all the big things. They all go visit the Pope. So you can't tell me these folks don't know when stuff is going to happen or the timing of it. Put this paper in and do this thing at this time so they won't look suspicious when we really get ready to pull the wool over people's eyes and pull the rug from underneath their butts. I don't believe that. So, you can read this and believe whatever you want to believe, but the point is the rich people are selling their stock and they're trying to make it seem as though it's coincidental, but we know what time it is. We're getting ready to go into another quarter. Um, and so they're trying to cash out before the bottom falls out so that they'll have money, your money, to swoop in and save you or save themselves, make themselves richer, and have us, where we don't own nothing. And we're going to be happy that they give us a place to rent. Or you're going to lose your house, but you're going to be happy you can uh, stay in your place and rent it back from the asset management company that buys it. You look at all these storage places that are popping up all over the place. These people know what's coming. All these shipping containers, these U-Haul companies, all these huge storage facilities. People are not going to be able to afford no place to stay. So people are going to put their stuff up in storage. We're going to rent storage from them and stay wherever we can stay. Like, it's just, I don't know. If you can't see the writing on the wall, I don't know what to say. But in any event, rich people getting rid of the stocks. So you should be expecting a crash right around the corner. They've already told you it's going to be as bad as the Great Depression was in 1933. And the whole world is struggling. So the whole world is going to be in distress. So it's not just like it's going to be America. So if you can prep with tangible stuff, be prepared. Get you some seeds, get you some tools so you can work out in the yard, get you an axe, get you a shovel, get you some gardening tools, buy seeds, try to learn how to live off the land. And again, have your go bag, especially if you live in the city, because you don't know when you're going to have to move suddenly. So with that, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload new content. Keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High. Stay in His Word daily. Keep those commandments. Keep the Sabbath. Repent for your sin. Repent from your sins daily. Sins of commission and sins of omission. Because we are getting ready to embark on some dark times, times that our people have never seen before, and we're getting ready to be persecuted. All of us, not just Israelites, but everybody. These people don't like nobody. They like money. Their God is money, and all they see us as money and problems. So you're not anything good. If you haven't figured that out yet, you think you're going to be able to vote yourself out of this? You're not. If you think you're going to be able to work yourself out of this, you won't be able to. The only thing you're going to be able to do is pray your way out of this and hope to be delivered by the Most High. That's all we're going to be able to do. All right. This is Marley K, and I'm out.